a very good evening to you, boys and girls. It's Thursday night, the 16th of January, 2020. Welcome along to this evening's little show, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. Now, sorry about the show finishing abruptly this morning. I don't think it's the internet connection that is the problem, and I'll tell you why, because when a red light came on, but I was still able to look at other web pages. So I don't think that's what it is. I think it's something to do with Restream, because this week, which is when the problem started, or did it start last week? I think it started last week. Last week, and the problem started, I keep getting this little error message coming up from the streaming company, Restream. Let me just move that down a bit. There we are. Restream, saying that it failed to get a token. I have no idea what that means. Okay, so this has been going on. I sent them a letter. They said reload your broadcast software, which I did. Still getting the error message. So I think it's something to do with that. So tonight, for the first time, I haven't used this system before. We tried it out this afternoon, and thank you very much to those of you that sent in a little message telling me what was what, basically. So we're now going direct to YouTube, kind of cutting out the bit in the middle. So we'll see if this does or doesn't sort the problem, and fingers crossed it will do. But it looks very different to me on one of the screens now, and I'm trying to work my way around it. Not quite sure how it works. Interestingly, I see that even before I'm able to start, and I did put a little note up there saying 7:30, even before I started, as soon as I completed the information on there which says like the date, the title of the show, United Kingdom Talk, Thursday night, when I've done all that, when I finished doing that, immediately the chat box came up, even though I hadn't pressed go live, and you've started chatting to each other, which is interesting, which means I probably don't need that elongated opening video. And I thought about that. I was just talking to my brother-in-law on the phone, and he said, yeah, that's how it works. As soon as you've completed putting in this all the information, you're ready to go, other than hitting the live button, right? Suddenly, I noticed you'd started talking to each other. And I said to my brother-in-law, I said, well, I hope they can't hear me now. I was swearing my head off. That's what I'm like. I try not to swear when I'm doing the show, but actually in real life I do actually swear quite a lot, to be honest. Not at church, of course. Oh my God, what would Father... Oh, sorry. No, not Father Simon. Canon Simon was being made into a canon. Is Shania there? I'll have a look at your messages in a minute. But, yeah, so I'm not quite sure how it works, so it might be a bit clunky while I work my way around it, and fingers crossed. Hoping to have the phone line open a little bit later on, so you'll be able to call in. The number will appear magically on your screen a little bit later on. Okay, so that's what happened this morning. It was still very windy out there. The wind picked up here in Lincolnshire around about, I suppose it was around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I certainly noticed it as I was driving back from the swimming pool earlier. I got back here about 2:10, and my sister turned up on her own for a cup of tea, so that was nice. People just popping in. Yeah, I quite like that. People knock, oh, hello, not unexpected. She told me she was coming round, and she'd ironed some more shirts for me and brought those round, and I made her a cup of tea while I had my dinner. So that was all very nice. All right, now let's say hello to some of you, and then we get going. Good evening so Jason Hughes, I wonder what time, I don't know what time you sent these, put user in, oh no, it's a timeout, that is. I don't know what time you actually started sending these messages. I don't have a time there or anything like that. What I do have on my, you can't see, I haven't got a mirror here. I had a mirror in here, didn't I? Once. Did I have a mirror in here? I don't know what, I might have, oh, I know where that is, that's in the shed now. I've put the mirror in the shed. I'd like to show you what's going on, but on my right, I've now got a little monitor. I've now got two monitors. I'm looking at myself in two places, which is not necessarily a good thing, to be honest. With people watching, how many people, likes and things like that all in front of me. Also a little note that tells me that the stream going out is excellent, it says there. So, and then it says something about super chats as well. No super chats or members. I don't know what members are. Not quite sure what members are, but that's what it says in front of me there. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. if the super chats come up in a different place as well. It's all working something. It's like learning something new, you know, really. But we should be all right. It seems fairly simple, to be honest. So Jason Hughes in the house. Hello to Sean Pye, Fran Green. Good evening, my darling. Joey Millen in the house. Gavin Bass. Good evening. Hello to Amelia Dodd. There's Heidi. No bingo tonight. No bingo, Gavin. No bingo, Amelia Dodd. It's good that you chat to each other. Apologies if I miss people out. It's sometimes difficult to remember who you've said hello to and who not. Luke Trott. Good evening, Luke. Welcome to the show, Mikey Mike, Tony King, Finley Trott. Oh, you're new. Hello, Finley. Are you related to Luke? Are you like... is that I don't know if that's a boy's name or a girl's. I'm thinking it's a boy's name, Finley. Finley is. Are you related to Luke Trott, who's on here as well? Hello to Adam the Plumber, joining us this evening. Evening, Adam. There's Martin, Retro Restore in the house as well. You saw his video earlier on this morning. Okay, what else have we got here? That's it, is it? Is that everyone? I think that's everyone at the moment. There's Shania. There she is. Shania, head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. Good evening, Shania. All right, my love. Scroll, let's get right down to the bottom and do all these names for you, my darlings. Rumble Bumble is definitely in. I think you got there before the start as well. Hello to Colin Coates. See, I don't know how that looks to you. I don't know how it looks to you when I've hit that button and I'm ready to go, but I haven't started. I have no idea how that looks to you. I'll have to watch another live stream to understand that, really. MP Dodsworth, good evening to you. There's young Mandy Davenport. Hello, my sweetheart. All right, Mandy. There's Mick. Good evening to Mick Davenport. Shania's doing first Holy Communion session planning. Oh, you're busy. What? Ready for the feeding of the 5,000. Oh, it's one of my favourites. The feeding of the 5,000, where just with a few loaves of bread and fishes, they fed 5,000 people. Yes. You try doing that at McDonald's. They take forever. Jesus was able to do it in the space of just a few seconds. He did a quick blessing. Suddenly, all this food appeared from anywhere. It's like walking down the aisle in Asda. It really is. They didn't have Asda there, incidentally, in those days, just in case you were wondering. AJP Guard Machines, Nelly Bedlam. Hello to you, Nelly Bedlam. Members are usually 6 inches. Well, if you're happy with 6 inches, that's up to you, Nelly, my darling. I like to see a little bit more than that, my love. Nelly. Oh, we are awful. There's some new people here as well this evening, so good evening to you. Do feel free to hit the subscribe button and switch your notifications on, my love. Okay? And then you'll always get a little ping when the show's on. Usually we're here around about 9:30 in the morning, except on a Friday. But we can sort of shove a show in at any time. We're building up, I think we're building up a schedule now. You know, we've got the Sunday night show that always starts at 8 o'clock for the bingo. Well, the bingo starts at 8. The show can start a bit earlier, but the bingo starts at 8. We got bingo this Sunday night, boys and girls. If you want to join in with the bingo, there's only little prizes. We're not talking like £10,000 or anything like that. They're like small prizes. We've got pens, hats, and I'm hoping we'll have other I have seen, actually, on my Ring security camera, a delivery came yesterday and she's put it in my safe space. I have a... No, you're not going to know where that is. Listen, I know some of the sort of people that watch this show. If I told you where my safe space was, you'd be straight round there to unload that into your own little carrier bags. No. I saw something being delivered to my safe space this week, so I'm not quite sure which of 3 items it is, but they may well be there for Sunday. And if so, well, depending on what it is, we may have an extra prize on Sunday night, okay? So it's just little prizes, just little fun things. We got hats, we got pens, we got fridge magnets and things like that, okay? So that's Sunday night, 8 o'clock. If you want to play that, you have to register before by email. Send me an email to that address there. And all you've got to do is say in the email, please add me to the bingo, and I'll do that for you, okay? That's all you've got to do. And then I'll reply to you when the bingo starts and what happens, and then you'll be ready to go. All right? Yes, Finley is indeed related to Luke. I see. Yep. Okay. You know what members are, Chris? I don't know what members are, Joey. I've no idea what members are. It says viewer activity, no super chats or members yet. I have no idea what they are. Absolutely no idea what members are. Nelly, you know me, love. Sarah Lou Lace. Ah, hello, Sarah Lou Lace. Yes, I don't think you can change your name on YouTube once you've set that there. Hello to Gary Butler. Morning, Gary. Or good afternoon, Gary, as one of our moderators. In fact, Gary was just trying out moderation for 2 weeks. I think that's up on Saturday, isn't it, Gary? When you let us know whether or not you want to continue to be a moderator or not. He's given us a trial period of 2 weeks. I think that's up on Saturday or Sunday. So, you know, fingers crossed, you know, he will stay with us. Thank you, Mikey. I was streaming at 6:30. It was... Oh, is that right? Oh, I have no idea how that works. I see. I must have done something this afternoon in preparation for tonight then. Well, we'll find out that as time goes by. We'll work it all out. Good evening, Diane Jeb. Mandy, Jason Hughes has been caught red-handed again. Ah, Sean Pye. Blimey, I can see that. Cool, blimey, that's come up. Thank you, Sean. That's so easy to see now. That is so easy. Sean Pye has sent a £2 super chat. Why didn't I hear the ding? That's better. Already on this programme, I have made £2,000... I have made £2 by the kindness of a tip from Sean Pye. I tell you what, Sean, you can't miss that. You absolutely can't miss that. The whole screen in front of me is black except for your white textings. But when you send a super chat, it comes bright blue, that is. You can't miss it. And there's another little thing next to it which says, if anything like that comes up. Oh, that's brilliant. Because sometimes I do feel, you know, if some people are sending tips, you know, you want them mentioned as quickly as possible, don't you? As thanks for people doing that. So thank you very much for that, Sean. Very kind of you there, all right? And hello to Robert Lunn, also joining us this evening. Please feel free to hit the thumbs up button at the bottom of the chat screen, and that will be great. We will be opening the phone lines very shortly, gang, very shortly. But I'd like to give you a few little things that you may or may not want to chat about this evening. Okay, first of all, I'd like to finish this story. I'm not sure that you heard the whole story from this morning. And that's about Christmas trees. You've probably put yours away now, so we're a little bit late with this story. But in the Daily Mirror this morning it said we're only 15 days into a new year and a new decade. But already a number of bizarre new trends have cropped up on social media. It's Valentine's trees. Oh, yes. See, if you haven't got anyone to send I haven't had a Valentine's card or gift for years. I kid you not. Years and years. No flowers. No cards. No chocolates. Not even a deep snog in the mouth with someone's tongue. Nothing. And it hurts. It hurts, boys and girls. It's like a knife going into me, knowing that day's going to come. Sometimes I don't get up on Valentine's Day anymore. It's too much. I cannot cope with the stress of I might even take sleeping pills so that I actually don't wake up on the 14th of February at all. I think that's a very wise thing to do. So, and then I won't get upset. You know, if you don't wake up on the 14th of February and you wake up on the 15th, then the day has passed. No more upset and unhappiness for me. Have you ever tried to book a restaurant for Valentine's night on your own? You ring them. It doesn't matter who they are. I'd like to book a table, please. Oh, yes, okay, sir. What's your name? That's Mr. Reardon, please. Okay, table for two. No, sorry, it's just one. Sorry, sir? It's just one. Oh, but it's Valentine's night, sir. Yeah, but it's just for me, I'm afraid. Well, what about your other... I haven't got anyone! Oh, and they won't book me in. Won't book me. I had to go to McDonald's last year. Awful. So I walked into McDonald's, didn't I? And I stood in the queue. And I noticed around me, boy, girl, boy, girl, 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 boy, girl, boy, 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 girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, 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 girl, 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 dog, girl dog, and me. I'm going to have to get sleep. I don't want to wake up on Valentine's Day. Anyway, let's go back to this story, shall we? It seems some people are so keen to keep their Christmas trees up that they're redecorating them with all the pink and red baubles they can find to celebrate Valentine's Day. They've left the blooming trees up. Oh, dear me. Currently on Instagram, there are more than 2,400 posts with the hashtag Valentine's Tree, and the photos show the festive firs completely transformed for the romance season. What romance is there? There's no romance story. Oh, God, it's too much here. I knew I shouldn't have read this story. It's making me very upset. I'm getting anxiety. Where's my safe space? I can't cope. I can't cope. I'm a student. I can't cope. The tree's photos show the festive firs completely transformed for the romance season, adorned with hearts, feathers, roses, messages of love and teddy bears, none of which reside at my house. Do you know, things got so bad last year. This is not a joke. This is absolutely honest, right? There was a little advert from the 3 telephone network. I can't remember what it was. But I wrote something about it saying that I was happy with the 3 service and the mobile phone and this, that and the other, right? And they replied back, "Oh, that's really nice, Chris. Thank you very much for your comments. We hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day." And I don't know, I wrote back, I said, "I'm sure I will, but I don't really have anyone to buy anything for and I don't expect to receive anything." I kid you not, 2 days later, got a box. You may remember this if you've been with the show for a while. I got a box, right, delivered. Oh, what's all this? And it had all the 3 logo on it, 3 telephone network, with a ribbon and all this. Happy Valentine's Day. I couldn't believe it. And it was like a little thing with tea and jams and things. What do they call those things? You know, with they got straw in the bottom with various different items of food. I felt loved. I felt loved for just a few moments, and then I ate the whole lot and I felt unloved again. Don't suppose I'll get the same this year. Anyway, back to this story. That is true. That is absolutely true. The 3 network felt so sorry for me. That's how bad it is. They felt so sorry for me, they sent me something in the post. It says, this girl Jennifer, who's got more than 298,000 followers. Oh, I've got 2,900, what is it? 298,000 followers on Instagram. How many have you got? Well, I don't know, actually. I'm not even going to look. I don't want to upset myself even further tonight. It's bad enough now. I don't know if I can carry on the show, to be honest. It's all too much. Oh, it's really too much worry. Jennifer, who has more than 298,000 followers, whoopie-doo, works hard to create extravagant themed decor in her beautiful home, turning it into a giant gingerbread house over the... Oh, Harry would like that, wouldn't he? Prince Harry. A lovely gingerbread house over... Did you hear that alarm go off then? Ginger person detected. Ginger person detected. Close the doors. Turning it into... This is... I'm telling you, this part of the show would be better than the phone calls. I'm telling you that now. Believe me. Turning it into a giant gingerbread house over the Christmas period, complete with nutcrackers... and sweets all over the place, making a spooky Halloween haven filled with pumpkins and cauldrons for October the 31st. Now she's preparing to do it all again, filling her home with love. Oh, love is a many splendid thing. Unless you're Chris Reardon, that part of my life is empty, boys and girls. Empty. Can you see my empty heart? Empty, empty. She's preparing to do it all again, filling her home with love, so she's been sharing pictures of her Valentine's trees from previous years. And they look a bit much, to be honest. You can't see the tree. Flowers and hearts and love type things. God's sake. So there's an idea for you. Perhaps you might consider doing something like that at Christmas. Now, where is my... I've lost my YouTube. Is that it there? Oh, there it is. I couldn't find my YouTube. This is all new to me, remember? This is all new to me, what's going on tonight. Ah, love. Would you do your tree up like that? Would you keep your... I mean, I'll be honest, it looks too much. She's got so much blooming hearts and glitter on there. It's a bit fake. Do you know what I mean? Fake. Great song by Alexander O'Neill, incidentally, fake. So there we are. Let me see. Joey, should I buy you a teddy bear, Chris? No, I've got a teddy bear, thank you. Jack the teddy bear. He sleeps with me. Yeah, that's not a joke either. He does. He sleeps with me in my little bed. If you remember, if you're with us on Saturday morning when I'm back at our Bracknell television studio complex, the jewel of Berkshire. When I'm back there, remind me, because I don't think you've seen Jack the teddy bear. Yes, I have one already. He cannot be replaced, my love. No. That was actually a gift, from my nephew Jimmy when he was... I think it was 15. And I took them all on a plane, because he'd never been on a plane. So I took him and my sister on a plane up to Edinburgh or Glasgow, one of the two. Edinburgh, I think it was about. And we went into this teddy bear shop. And him and my sister made this teddy bear and gave it to me as a gift. So there we are. That's quite nice. Nelly, you're so lovable. What are you doing to scare them off? I don't know what it is, darling. I really don't know. I think it's the fact that I give you lot so much of my time. I've always given all my time to work. Seriously. And this is not a job. This is not like a paid job. Oh, no, it is tonight because Sean has sent me £2. So it is a paid job tonight. But do you know what I mean? I've always given all my time to something I'm doing rather than someone. And probably that's why I sit here alone. That's why. You know, remember, gang, if I had someone, I wouldn't be able to do this as much. Now you don't want that to happen for me, do you? Love is a many splendid thing. Roy Brownlow in the house. Good evening, Roy. Mark Jones. Good evening to you. Excuse me. Is that everyone? Have I seen? You're chatting away there, darlings. You should tell someone you love them every day of the year, not just Valentine's, dear. It's just one big rip-off. I buy Mandy presents all the time. I agree with that. I think Valentine's Day is a shockingly expensive day, if you want it to be. Why buy the roses on the Tuesday when you can get them for half the price on the Wednesday, whatever day it is? I know what day. Why buy them on the 14th? On the 15th, they'd be half the price. Leave it till the 15th. Doesn't matter. Why does that matter? Your other half will understand. You can even tell them, do you mind if I buy your flowers the next day to save money? Why would they mind that? Unless they're stupid. Ow, that Valentine's Day is on the 14th. Just get them on the 15th. Save your money. Or if they complain about that, don't buy any at all. Greedy people. Right. So that's the Valentine's trees. Just an idea for you. Will you be putting something out like that up? What do you do for Valentine's Day? There's your first talking point tonight, okay? Don't ring in yet. Phone lines are not open yet, okay? Valentine's trees. There's an idea for you there. Good evening to Matthew Van and Russ Vernon in the house as well. Okay? Here's something else for you to talk about now. Do you have a friend from the past? A friend from the past that you kind of lost contact with? And I've got a few. There was Steve Short, who I was in the Scouts with. Very, very good. Very, very loyal friend. He would do anything for me. Steve Short in Scouts, who lived with his mum, Bobby and Dave. Lovely people. Used to go around there on a Friday night and we used to sit there and watch soap. That's him and his family. We'd sit there and watch soap, and his mum would do these fruitcakes. Beautiful fruitcakes. And his sister Leslie, who I fancied, you know, young love. But it wasn't reciprocal, unfortunately. Someone else who didn't fancy me. See? See? It just goes on and on. I mean, my life is just one big mess. Anyway, so there was Steve Short. There was Alan Campbell. He was in the Scouts as well. Lynn Scarfield. He was at school with me. And Gary Manners, who was at primary school at me. 4 people who I'm not in contact with. Probably two of them I have spoken to since. 3 of them I have spoken to, but one I haven't. Lynn Scarfield. Don't know where it is. And you do these searches on Facebook and you can't find them. And I guess you can't find them because we didn't have Facebook then. And these people, You know me, 56, and I've kind of tried to keep up with this internet thing. I know people my age, they haven't even got internet in the house. Seriously. They don't have it in the house. Where's my text phone? Oh, there it is, just in case something comes in on text. There we go. You know, just lost contact. But is there someone perhaps in your life that you want to ring in and talk about? Tell me about them. There's another point for you to call in today. And what got me that was this story in the Metro tonight. Louis Tomlinson, one of the members of No Erection, you know, that little Boise band. Louis Tomlinson has opened up about his relationships with his former One Direction bandmates in tonight's Metro and admits that they go through moments of speaking to each other, just now and again. The What Makes You Beautiful hitmakers broke all of our hearts when they announced they would be taking a break in 2014. 6 years ago, One Direction finished. How old do you feel now, lads and girls? Exactly. Since then, Harry Styles, Liam Payne, Niall Horan and Louis have pretty much gone their separate ways with their solo careers, which has included releasing new music, launching business ventures and starring in blockbuster movies. Of course, Harry Styles was in that excellent film Dunkirk. Oh, it was so good. If you've not seen, and it's the music that makes that film. The music will have you on the edge of your seat. It's a fantastic film. There's another talking point there. What films really stick in your mind all those years, or have stuck in your mind all these years? You'll be able to call in about that shortly, okay? It says, with such busy lives, it's not a surprise. Louis says he's not in regular contact with one particular bandmate. He says, I think all the boys would agree with this. There's been moments in our lives where naturally some of us speak to others more than others. I wouldn't say I'm closest to any of them. And that's the story there. You know, when you worked with people for so long, and again, you know, I could probably think of loads more people. Oh, Roy Brownlow has now sent a £2 super chat. Please give this money to the beaten child. If you were watching the show, I did a short video, very short video that I uploaded to Facebook. Was it the video or did I just... No, I uploaded a photo onto Facebook last night. And great nephew Harry, I went round his house last night and he had a little he was holding this thing on his head. And what's happened, Harry? And he's got a big bruise on his head. And I said that I'd been beating him. What happened? He actually knocked his head on the corner of his bed, according to his mum, before I got there. And he come down the stairs to come straight over to me to show me the damage on his head. They're very proud of these things, aren't they, children? I will give him that £2 next week. Don't worry, Roy. I'll try and get someone to do a video, either my nephew or his wife, holding the camera, you know, while I hand over the £2. Otherwise, you won't believe me. You know, you're a non-believer, aren't you, Roy? Be honest. You need proof all the time. You need proof all the time. Nelly on let's just scroll up there. Nelly, on Valentine's evening we ate steak and chips, have some fizz and watch a movie. Yeah, I like to do that all the time, except it's on my own, Nelly, unfortunately, but never mind. And Poundland Sal, excellent idea. Jason brings his missus home a 4-pack of ice ring donuts for Valentine's Day. I end up eating 3 of them. That's like going to the hospital and taking stuff for people, isn't it? Eh? Thank you, Roy. I'll hand that over to him. When I'm reading a story, I'm not looking at the messages. So as soon as I come back to the messages, if you have sent a super chat or something, that's great. So that's £4. Oh, so let me just make a note of that. So that's actually not £4. It's only £2, because £2 of that is the great nephew Harry, which will upset Evie, who's his sister. Ow, where's mine? It'll be, where's mine? She won't have £2. Only £2 for great nephew Harry, I'm afraid. Thank you very much. Right, something else here for you to think about talking about today. 25-year things all teenagers should do. Is there something you did as a child or as a teenager that you're incredibly proud of? Can be anything. Swimming certificate, or something like the Duke of Edinburgh's award. There's a story in today's Daily Mail. As most parents know, it can be a challenge to get to... I'll open the lines after this, okay? So you've got 3 things to perhaps think about talking about, or something else. Try not to be boring. Now, if you're going to call in, don't be boring. Okay, don't be boring, and don't be upset if I bring the call to a close so we can move on to someone else. We can't have people rabbiting on for hours on end. I mean, you might as well be doing your own show. I have a lot of trouble keeping going for an hour. As you well know, sometimes I completely and totally run out of things to say. It's just how it is. Anyway, the Duke of Edinburgh Award scheme. As most parents know, it can be a challenge to get teenagers to put down their phones and engage in the real world. I mean, I know that. All great nephews and nieces, when they've got that iPad, or they don't actually have iPads, you know, the cheap children's versions of these things, like a little screen with some games on it. I don't know what they're called. I think it's an Amazon thing. They're not very dear. When they're given those, and like either my nephew or my niece, they go, okay, put them away now. That's a real job. That creates hell. It really does. So I know what they mean here. The Duke of Edinburgh Award scheme has come up with a checklist designed to cut through the apathy and build character. It even includes a digital detox, leaving the online world of mobile phones, iPads and other devices behind. So here's the essential activities of the Duke of Edinburgh's Award. Get work experience or a part-time job. I had a part-time job when I was 16. I worked in Millets. Millets in Putney. Great job. My mum got me that job. She went in, have you got any jobs for my son? I started the next Saturday. Saturdays I did. Got, I think, £12. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, it was all right, that job. 2. Spend time getting to know an older person. 3. Become a mentor for someone younger. 4. Volunteer for a charity. 5. Join a club for your hobby. 6. Go to a music festival or gig. That's a good one. You know, I've been to... I go to Barry Manilow gigs. I'd like to go to a soul weekender. You know, something at Butlins or something like that. 7. Learn a foreign language. Bonsoir, mon ami. Comment ça va? And many other languages. Set a personal physical challenge. You know, do you not swim? Go down a swimming pool. Swim 10 lengths. Build up to that. And then go up to 20. Learn first aid. Learn to manage your own money. Travel somewhere new. Experience a digital detox. Put that phone away. Bet you can't. Bet you can't put the phone away. How about a week? Try it for a whole week. Turn the phone off. Put it in. Ow. How can I do my Facebook updates? You can't. End of. Trouble is, I would like to do that. If I did that, be no shows. That's the only thing, you see. How do I do that? Other than perhaps come in, do my shows, and then turn it all off. Not look at it until the next show. I suppose I could do that. Campaign for something you believe in. When you believe in love, it's in love. Yeah, you know, whatever. Animal rights, I don't know, women's rights, something like that. You probably got your own ideas of these things. I have. I'm very much into animal rights and I like women's rights, that sort of thing. Do I do anything about it? No. Nothing at all. You know, this is when I see... I know we go on sometimes about these left-wing loonies that go marching and all that, but, you know, I have to say there are some people out there who have completely the opposite political leanings to me that I am quite proud of. Young people, and I know several of them, who go on these marches and do something about what they believe in. I don't. I just say, oh, well, I this. Oh, I can't be bothered to do that. They go and they get off their bums and they go on these marches and things like that. You know, environmental things and all that business. I may not agree with what they're doing, but I'm in awe of them actually getting up and doing something about it. That's what the Duke of Edinburgh's Award is saying here. Learn to cook. Try veganism or vegetarianism. That's a big thing that's coming along, isn't it? Both those things. Spend time in nature. Yep, take off all your clothes and run around the forest. Carry out random acts of kindness. Let's be honest, Roy Brownlow's done that. He's done warning, another £2 super chat has arrived. I know what that's for. I bet he's there. Just a moment. I bet he's there. I bet he wants... There you go. Got to give that one to Evie now. Good evening, Rowan Riley. Welcome to the show, Rowan. Hello to you. gosh. I'll come back to your message in a moment. Look, Stacey's there as well. Stacey is Harry and Evie's mum. That's Harry and Evie's mum. So they also have a little girl called Olivia. Okay? Olivia is the little disabled girl. She has 24-hour care. Just a few other things here, and I'll open up the phone lines. Other activities, learn about your history. Do you know all about your history? Speak in public in front of or in the school class. Create a piece of art or music. Now, I can create music. Seriously, you know when I'm playing the organ at church, there are bits in the mass, the service, where the hymn finishes, and then whatever's supposed to be happening in the church hasn't quite finished. So you can either sit there in silence, or I just start randomly playing tunes that I don't know where these tunes come from. Literally, I just play and it sounds all right. So I can do that. I can't do art. I'm useless at art. If I draw a picture, dreadful. You would think it's a 2-year-old. My niece and nephews can draw better than me. But it's what you can do and what you can't. Go dancing. Do you go dancing? Either, raving like I used to do in the 90s. I'd like to do that again. But I'm not sure where we go down. Dress for yourself, not others. I do that. I do that. When I'm here and when I'm at home, I dress. I can't be bothered. I look like a tramp. I look like a tramp. Oh, you ask my nephew and nieces. I look like a tramp sometimes. Engage in politics. Oh, I don't know about that. Learn about climate change and have a conversation with someone you've never met before. That's the Duke of Edinburgh. What the Duke of Edinburgh Award suggests that young people do. Have you got a Duke of Edinburgh's award or some other thing as a child that you're proud of achieving? I've got a few piano grade certificates, swimming certificate. I got the Chief Scouts Award when I was in the Scouts. There's a few things, and I played. I think possibly the thing that sticks in my mind more than anything else is when I played the piano within a gang show. And it was at Lewisham Theatre. It was at Lewisham Theatre, and within the gang show, it's like several sketches and numbers all thrown together to put us. And one of the numbers was me playing the piano, and I had this grand piano on the stage. And I think I was 15 or 16, something like that. And I had to walk onto the stage and play the piano. I remember the tune. Da, 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 da. I could play you the exact tune now. I could play it now. And yeah, that's. I think that's my most memorable thing there, But what about you? Anyway, just a few bits and pieces to talk about there. Let's have a look. We'll open the phone lines now. Okay, I'll be the first person to call in. I can only take one call at a time. Let me get that phone number up. I can only take in one call at a time. If you ring when there's someone else calling, it will either not answer or go to answer phone, okay? We can only do one call at a time, and I'll just take the first one. There's your phone number at the top there. Is that big enough for you? Is that bit? You can see that all right, can't you? That phone number up there, or does that need to be a little bit bigger? I'm not sure if that needs to... I can make that a little bit bigger there at the top there. There we go. And is that in bold? Let me see if that's in bold. Select font. Oh, it is in bold, is it? There you go. That is in bold. So there we go. Phone number up there now. If you'd like to call in, lines are open and standing by, or you don't have to call in. That's all right. If you don't want to call in as well, that's fine as well. So we got phone number 1. Heidi is on the line. Good evening, Heidi.
Hiya.
Good evening,
Hello.
lovely Heidi. All right?
How are you?
All well, we're darling. We've just got to do a super chat, Heidi. Sorry, darling. Hope you don't mind, my love. A £4 super chat.
No, I don't mind at all.
A £4 super chat has just come in from young Sean. So thank you, Sean.
No, I don't mind at all. How are you?
I'm very well, darling. Very well. And
Good.
the £4 is for Gary's children. Look at that. That no one's giving me any money tonight, Sean, Heidi.
Sean's already given you £2.
Not for me, darling. It's all for... Oh, is he? Oh, was that for me? Well, I've got £2 and the kids have got £8. That's hardly fair, is it?
Well, yeah. Why isn't it?
Well,
you should always get more than
that's
the
how it
payment.
is, darling. Anyway, what are you calling
Yeah.
about? Which subject are you calling in about tonight?
Well, I just want to. I'm not going to blow your trumpet, but I am. You are absolutely a master of what you do. We love you, Chris.
Oh,
We really
please.
do. You know, I think I can say on behalf of everyone in the chat box that you know, we look forward to your shows because, you know, it's just bright and light-hearted and fun and, you know, crazy, and you just
Crazy?
make our day.
Am I
Yeah.
crazy? I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
Oh, babe,
Lonely
I
at that
swear
word
to you,
again, eh?
I'm sure you were dropped on your head when you was born, love. I swear to God.
I think I probably was, Heidi, to be honest. Dropped on my head a few times.
But, you know, kidding aside, you are so talented, Chris, because, like, when you can hear a piece of music and then you can play it. I can't do that.
Yeah, well,
I
I don't know how it happens. I can't lie.
Well,
I honestly don't know how that happens. I do. I just hear it and that's it. And then, you know, if there's time, like I say, if there's time, I can go on my piano now and completely make up a tune from nowhere. The thing is, I can't write it down. You know, so the only way I've got to do it is record it. I've got a few little bits of music. What's the word? I made over the years. I can't remember. Composed. Perhaps you composed. Perhaps composed. Composed over the years.
dear.
Which are in my head and I can play, but I can't do anything with them. And one of them would be ideal for like a piece of quiz show music. And I think I remember writing once to the BBC and saying, you know, I've got this tune in my head that I think could be used. And you get a letter back saying, oh, well, thanks very much, but we use a company to make all our music. And so there was another door closed. So you kind of just left with it, you know, that sort of thing. But it's very kind of you to say that, huh?
Well, no, it's not completely closed, because what you do then is you approach someone who composes music, and you get them to translate it into music for you. Because even though you can't read or write music, you can have it put into music for you.
Do you know what? There's a website I use. It's called Fiverr.com. And this would be of interest to some of the people watching the show. Fiverr, Fiverr, or Fiverr. I can't remember the exact thing. Fiverr.com. That is the site where I get all my little films off. Not the opening film. I make all that myself. The bingo thing, the raffle thing, anything like that involves a bit of like animation, the Christmas intros and outros, the logo that comes up at the end, that is all made on a website called Fiverr. And what you've got on there is people, a lot of youngsters on there who are talented in whatever area that they're talented in, and they are happy to do you little jobs like that for $5, or you can upgrade for $10, $20. I think the maximum you could spend is $50. And on there, I'm sure if I had a little look on there, I would find someone to do. It's called notation. That's where you write down the notes to a piece of music that you have composed. I could probably actually do it, but very, very slowly. And the trouble is, I've got no interest. I've got these tunes in my head, but they don't go anywhere, you know. But that's how it is, Heidi. What are you good at? Tell me about you. Don't talk about me anymore, dear, because it's boring. They all know about me. Tell me about you. What are you good at? Are you a cook? Something like that, maybe?
Oh, I tell you what I am very good at. I'm good at remembering phone numbers. I don't know where it comes from.
You're good at what?
Remembering phone numbers.
Remembering phone number. I don't think anyone remembers phone numbers now. I know my sister's phone number, just about. I know my phone number, and I think that, and I remember my home number, of course, when we were living in Roehampton. And that's it. I don't think people know. If you lost your mobile phone, that's it. You wouldn't be able to remember any of the phone numbers in there. You only know these numbers by name now, don't you? You know, I'll ring Heidi. You press Heidi. Don't have to type in a number. Just hit on your name there, wouldn't you?
Well, I'm going to tell you a story now. I got the number I'm ringing you on now.
Yes.
Right. I got on a contract. I got it for the telephone warehouse. And what you do is, when you're going through the contract, they give you a list.
A list, not a lisp.
That you want.
A list or a lisp.
They give you a list
of
you know, all the phone numbers that you want, and you can pick the one you want. So I saw this one, the one I'm calling you on now, and within 2 minutes, I said to the lady, I said, I'll have that one.
Right.
Which is the one I'm calling you on now. That was within 2 minutes. That was within 2 minutes. I just looked at it for about a minute, and I already had it in my brain.
Well, that's clever, isn't it? Isn't that good?
I don't know where it comes from. You know, it's like my friends nicknamed me the walking phone book.
The walking phone book. Well, that's your talent then, Heidi. You see, we've all got a talent, Heidi. We've all got a talent, my darling.
Yeah, we have.
Anyway, nice to talk to you on the phone. We'll wrap that little one up there, and we'll see if anyone else wants to call in. A pleasure to talk to you as always, Heidi. All right, my darling?
Well, I actually wanted to say hello to Stacey and
righty,
Martin
darling.
and Sharon and Harry and Evie and Olivia.
They're all there watching. See you, Heidi.
That was it. Bye.
Bye-bye, darling. There we are. The lovely Heidi calling in. She's in sort of North London. Give us a call. 020-8144. Oh, do you know, that's a number I know. Look, I'm not even looking. 020-8144-3477 if you want to give us a little call this evening. 020-8144-3477. Okay, let's have a look there. Lots of people saying hello to my nephew's wife, Stacey, who makes the best hot chocolate ever. Oh, you saw the film I played you earlier, didn't you? About Stacey's hot chocolates. It was actually, if we have time, I'll play it out to you again, all right? If we have time, I'll play it out to you again. But we'll just do phone calls for now. 020-8144-3477 to give us a call. I have to say, as delicious as that chocolate was, and it was, absolutely delicious. As delicious as it was, one is enough. I had trouble finishing that. It was a mug, and not this size, but it was a decent sized mug with little marshmallows and all of. Oh, it's gorgeous, this chocolate, hot chocolate. One was enough. Beautiful. And the children sat there having that as well, so very nice. Jason has lost his voice again tonight. That seems to happen to you every Thursday now, Jason. You lose. You're losing your voice somehow. How does that happen, Jason? We want to know. Shania, we had to do notation for A. Oh, she's got A levels. Oh, I beg your pardon. Oh, she's got A levels. Shania's got A levels. It's me with my measly old O levels, dear. Terrible. I bet you've got grade A's and B's as well, haven't you? Grade A's and B's, something like that, Shania. You lucky thing. Oh, Jack, I saw your finger in that hot chocolate. It was lovely, thank you. It was lovely, Jack, that hot chocolate. What a shame you didn't have any. No hot chocolate for you, old boy. All right. Okay, let's take another call. Adam the plumber calling in. Hello, Adam.
Good evening, Chris Ridden.
Adam the plumber on KWT. Hello, dear. All right.
See, I'm very well. See, that's one of my things. I can do impressions. You see, that's one of my skills. What
of me? Adam, you're king of the super chats, aren't you? A 50. Was it? What did you say? $49.99 on Christmas Day, weren't it? Which is much appreciated.
No, we made it up. We made it up. You complained that I didn't make it 50, so I made it up to 60.
A £50 super chat. This is Adam the plumber. He's taken me out for my birthday. Him and his other half. We're going to the Dorchester, and there was something on the telly. What was it? We was watching Channel 5 last night, Adam.
Right.
And there's some good stuff on there now. We were watching Ice Road Truckers. Have you seen that?
I have heard of it, yes. I have heard of it.
Okay, so it's these blokes and women, of course, in America. I shouldn't really say that now, should you? These people in America who drive great big trucks. And one of the girls, I have to say, she was beautiful. She weren't old. She was quite young, this girl. And she's driving this blooming great articulated lorry. Where are they driving it? Across a frozen lake. I kid you not. The only thing is...
That's right, yeah.
This lake... had started to crack and melt.
Oh no.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. There's no way I'd take a job like that on. And one of these lorries was going across and something happened to it and his radiator started leaking out. Or something was leaking out. I was sitting there watching it with my nephew. I think the little boy had gone to bed. And he said, well, that'll melt the ice. This stuff that was coming... Oh, of course it would, wouldn't it? Hot water was coming out the
water.
Yeah, it was coloured orange. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be the radiator's gone a bit rusty.
Rust
so
from the yes.
I
remember seeing that myself. And this truck broke down in the middle of the lake. And I thought, you were on the edges of your seat watching this thing. It was really good. Ice Road Truckers, but they have some other good things on there. And the reason I mention that, there's the adverts, of programmes coming up, one of which was Posh Hotels. And guess what I saw on there? Just the outside of it. The Dorchester Hotel. Dorchester Hotel.
Ah.
Yep. And that's where Adam and his other half, they're taking me out for an afternoon tea on my birthday on that day. So very much looking forward to it. Am I allowed to have a glass? I'm not going to take the mick. I won't take the mick.
No, it's all sorted.
One little glass of champagne, that pink champagne.
Everything has been arranged.
Oh, you are good to me, dear. There you are.
Well, somebody's got to look after you in your old age.
Pardon? How rude.
Sorry, dear. What?
Dreadful. What we got to say then, my friend?
I was finding out you're saying about the Duke of Edinburgh award. I think it must have been written on me.
Have you done that?
Just about everything. I've done just about everything. No, I haven't actually done it, but I've just done everything that they've suggested on that list.
Have you really?
Yep, more or less. When I was at school, when I was 13 years old, I was put into special school because I have a thing called ADHD, or back in the day it was called hyperactive disorder.
Right.
And I was sent for one-to-one tuition. And part of that tuition was going to the swimming pool once a week. And I was put in there with a load of other children with other needs and what have you. And we were all chucked in the pool together and told to get on with it, more or less. And one of the groups of children that were there were Down's children. People with Down syndrome. They call it Downs now, I believe. They called Down syndrome. And I taught 5 of those children to swim. And got an award off the mayor for that. That was my skill at the time.
I bet you felt a great sense of achievement when that happened.
Yeah, certainly did. It was lovely. Because not one of them can swim, and over the sort of course of 3 or 4 months, I got them all taught them all to swim.
Oh, that's wonderful, Adam.
And they were really, really happy with that. And one day I was in the pool swimming. Teaching them to swim, and in walks the mayor of the local council, pulls me out and gives me this big certificate with thanks from the council and the mayor, and with all the crest of the council on it, the council crest.
Yes.
So that was one of my little achievements that I did. So when I was younger.
That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I do think you feel a great sense of achievement when you are able to teach a child or help them along with something. I really do. Last night, Harry last night, he bought this book over to read me, and his reading has improved drastically since he last tried to read me a book, which would have been last May, I think March or May, when we were on a Haven holiday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he nearly was able to read most of the words. And then, he, as a word comes up, let's just look at a word, friend. And he'll be, have you got a... And I think the secret there is not to give out the word straight away. If he really
That's
can't
right, yeah.
get it, then give it. And make him try and work it out. He's like, fund. No, friend, and he goes friend. And I always enjoy doing that. You know, teaching someone young. And,
Yeah, I mean, it's like myself. You know, I was self-taught with a lot of my plumbing and electrical skills and what have you over the years. I've since sort of sat some exams and what have you, but I'm actually dyslexic and enumerate, so I do suffer with both, and that's how I've taught myself. You know, not to be sort of put down and what have you, and just to get on with life.
I do hope you aren't put down soon, my love. Are you ill, dear?
Oh.
That's what we do to a cat.
Well, let's hope it's not before the 5th of February.
Well, I was going to say that. Not before my birthday treat, if you don't mind. Oh, please don't put Adam down, anyone. We don't want any of that going on.
But I am one of these people. I do love like yourself. I love to entertain people, and I love to give back to people and give back to the community and what have you. And I do my fundraising for charity.
Yes.
That you know about, and I also run a couple of little Facebook groups as well.
Oh, what are those?
You're talking about social media. The one's called Maidstone Past,
right,
and one is called Pubs of Maidstone and surrounding areas. I was literally bored one night, sat at home, and I thought, wonder what group I could create. And I thought, I know, I like a bit of history. Let's create a Maidstone Past.
I think there's a lot of people that do that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I started this group in September. It's now got over 6,500 members.
Has it really? Gosh, yeah.
And my favourite part of it was when a lady came on from South Africa, and she said, I used to live in Maidstone back in the 70s, and I would love to find my nanny that looked after me for 20 years.
That's what we were just talking about, that, weren't we? We were talking about that earlier, finding old friends and people like that.
That's it. That's what it links into. So this lady was looking, and she said, oh, it's Mrs. Smith and blah, blah, blah. Let's call her Mrs. Smith. Oh, I know Mrs. Smith. She lives 2 doors from me. Hold on, I'll go and knock on her door. So she goes and knocks on the door, brings her in and sticks her in front of Facebook, and they reconnect after 20 years.
There you go. And sometimes
it just brought a lump to my throat. It really did.
So
I think it was the sausage I was eating at the time, but
sometimes you just certain people that you meet, and it's been years and years, and you literally you literally pick up from where you left off last time. It's funny, isn't it?
Well, I'm not being funny. You look at us. We've known each other nearly 30 years.
Yes, yes.
If you think we've known each other since you first started DJing at LA Cap, and we sort of, I suppose, went in different directions for several years, and then I bumped into you at karaoke one night at the I think it was the 321 in Lewisham.
What was that called?
286.
286 bar. 286 bar in Lewisham. Yes, and like 10 years had passed, didn't it?
I told you I was numerate as well as just.
You told me what?
I told you I was a numerate as well as dyslexic. I'm useless with numbers. I can remember phone numbers.
I am actually. I move the numbers around some way without thinking about it. You just seem to do it, don't you?
Yes, I think it was the 285 bar that we reconnected, and we sort of, that was what, 10 years ago. Yeah.
Fun, innit?
Must be 2010, 2011. Yeah, must be.
Wow.
So it just goes to show you, the power of social media sometimes.
Yes, you find people. I met up with a friend of mine, Alan Campbell, on there, but I seem to have lost contact with him again for whatever reason. It's a shame, He was one of my friends when I was like 14, 13. I think he used to fancy my sister, actually. Alan, I'm sure he was just coming around to try and talk to my sister. She weren't having none of it, though.
I mean, you're talking about digital detoxes as well.
Have you ever done that?
I tried it for a week. It was the worst week of my life.
Really? But when you got to the end of the week, did you feel that you'd achieved something, or you think, well, that was a bit of a waste of time?
No, I did. It was refreshing. It was just literally I went on holiday and I had the phone with me and I thought, you know what, nobody really wants me, nobody really needs me. Switch the bloody thing off. Oh, pardon me. Switch the thing off.
Yeah. Oh.
Just switch it off and switch it off, and that's exactly what I did. And I bet your viewing figures were terrible that week.
Oh, that was awful, dear. There was no one watching, dear. We were desperate. We went below 10 million. It was awful.
I mean, you know, I connect to about 50 different devices under 60 different names, you know, and you know that helps boost your numbers.
Oh, Adam, you are funny, dear. Well, thanks for calling in. I look forward to our tea at the Dorchester, dear.
Indeed, I'll bring the BBC with me and the ITV film crew.
United Kingdom Talk television cameras will be there to cover the event. Worry not, boys and girls.
We could even dig up Eamon Andrews and do a "This Is Your Life" special, you know, with the big red book. And
tell your boyfriend no tracksuits, dear.
Oh, I was going to get him to come
you won't get in if you turn up in a bleeding tracksuit, mate. Dear me.
Oh, don't worry, will it? I'll dip it. I'll dip him in the bath and give him a good scrub down.
All right, see you, Adam.
Take care, Chris. Bye.
Cheerio. Bye now. There we are. Adam the plumber calling in, boys and girls. Isn't it nice to have these people chatting away there? Call in if you want to. 020 8144 3477. If you're listening abroad and you've got Skype, you can use that, gang. Okay. The Skype username is United Kingdom Talk, all one word. If you haven't got Skype, it's free. Just download it on your computer. And if you do call in by that method, you need to stop the stream or mute it while you're talking to me. Otherwise, there'd be a terrible echo, okay? Alan is with us this evening. Good evening, Alan Russell. Hello to you, Alan. All right. He said, I had some spotted dick and mint custard. Oh, no. Mint custard. I don't like the sound of that. Mint custard, I'm afraid. No, not liking the sound of mint custard. Have you ever tried mint shampoo? Now, I can't remember the brand of it now. It's one of the Ponzi brands, you know, a little bit more expensive, probably about £2 you know what shower gel I use? I get it from Aldi. It's 32 pence or 39 pence. Hibiscus. Oh, it's lovely. Lovely smell. Hibiscus shampoo, beautiful smell, and that's the shampoo. That's the shower gel that I use. Hibiscus, but there's a mint one. If that smells nice, and then you put it on your bits and pieces down there, and it all starts tingling. It's the weirdest sensation. I hated it. I didn't like it, so I'm not sure that I'd like mint custard. Jack prefers a jam roly-poly. Do you really? Ginger nuts. I do like a ginger nut biscuit. Oh, I haven't had those for ages. Strong. You know the McVitie's ones? Ginger nut biscuits. Yes, please. Thank you very much. There's our Fran. Is LaBelle with us today? I don't think LaBelle's there, actually. I haven't seen LaBelle pop up there. You carry on putting your messages on there if you want to, and I'll come to those now and again, boys and girls. Or you can call in 020 8144 3477 is my phone number. Do you read many books? Anyone read books anymore? I don't know anyone that reads books anymore. It's a shame, really, isn't it? No one reads these books anymore. I'd like to read more, but I look at a book and I just see a load of work. I don't actually see, oh, that might be a nice story. I'm quite good. I like short stories. I've had books with short stories before. They're okay. But long books, you know, like something like perhaps Harry Potter. Oh, you know, you do like a few pages and then, oh, my God, I've got to read all that. And it's not an enjoyable experience having to read a whole book. Anyway, in the Daily Mirror today, the Petersfield bookshop in Hampshire raked in over £1,000 after a social media appeal was even shared by fantasy author Neil Gaiman to his 2.8 million Twitter followers. 2.8 million. How many of those have I got? No, I don't want to upset myself. A bookshop has been inundated with orders after it was revealed that it failed to sell a single book in a day for the first time in 100 years. It's sad, isn't it? You've got what's that chain of bookshops? Waterstones. Do you read books? What do you read? What books do you read, if you read, or don't you read at all? The Petersfield bookshop tweeted it hadn't taken a penny all day, which was seen by leading author Neil Gaiman. He retweeted their appeal for help And within hours, it had taken £1,000 worth of orders online. Isn't that nice? That's a nice story, that is. Robert Sanson, who's worked at the shop for 13 years, snapped some photos of the eerily empty store on Tuesday. He posted on Twitter, "Tumbleweed, not a single book sold today at the shop at Petersfield in Hampshire." And there's a picture of it. It looks old. This shop looks really old, but it's quaint. Do you know what I mean? It looks quaint. Have you ever read? What do you read? Do you read anything? What do you read? Mick Davenport says, "No, I just look at the pictures." Amelia says, "I haven't read books in years. I have loads of books in my room that I haven't read. Feel bad I haven't read them." Yeah, I've got loads of books, actually. Not too many novels. Just doing books like recipe books, and they never get opened. It's a shame, isn't it? When I think my mum had a bookcase full of books. She belonged to a book club, I think, at some point when she was younger. And, yeah, it's a shame, really. Roy Brownlow's calling in from Derby. Hello, Roy.
Hello, Chris. I had to ring in. I don't want to disappoint all my fans just on your show waiting for me to speak.
Your fans? Do you have any, dear?
Yeah. Oh, most of them in the chat room are just here for me, you know.
Are they really? I find that very difficult to...
I'm sorry to break it to you, mate, but, you know, it's a common known fact in the chat room that you just haven't noticed.
No, I haven't. It's funny, that, isn't it? Can I just read out a couple of chats? Can I just read out a couple of chats before you go into full swing here?
Okay, dear.
Rowan says, "I listen to a lot of audiobooks, but I don't read them much anymore. And Mandy likes horror and crime books. She likes those ones that read there. Colin, I normally read books about my favourite musicians and comedians. MP Dodsworth reads the Bible. Gosh. And hello to Glenda, who's just joined us late this evening. Good evening, Glenda. Okay, Roy, off you go, mate.
I don't read, but I can't read books, mate. By the time I'm about 4 pages in, I forgot what I've read.
You see, that's where I am. I read the first few pages and I just see an amount of work. I don't see, I'm going to enjoy these 500 pages. I see, my God, I've got to read 500 pages and then I give up. Are you the same? Did you ever read?
Yeah. No, never. I want to jump to the end.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I tend to do it. Sometimes on TV series.
Yeah.
I jump ahead.
Do you really?
I don't quite understand this. I've got to. Yeah, if there's a bit that you don't. It's like when I'm Twitter thing. You don't quite understand what's happening. Then I like to jump ahead, so I see what it means, and then I go back again. I think, I know what this is all about now.
Oh.
I don't like being confused.
Yeah, that's interesting. You see, I lose my place in TV programmes, and that's because I keep picking the damn phone up. I should turn the thing off and put it in the bedroom and sit there, and I have done that before. I've turned the phone off, put it somewhere else, and sat down and thoroughly enjoyed a TV programme, so much more than if I'd had this phone and every five... Well, I'll just see if I've got a message or two, you know, or perhaps someone's asked for a raffle ticket or something like... By the way, we didn't do raffle tickets this morning, everyone, okay? Just to let you know, we didn't get to that point, so we'll do those tonight. Yeah, well, I just missed the programme. So it really is the best thing to do, turn your phone off and then sit there and enjoy whatever you're watching.
I couldn't do that. Chris, what? I couldn't sleep. I can't go in bath and I can't go to the toilet without taking my phone in.
Oh, I do that.
Something might happen. I might miss something in the world.
I do take the phone into the toilet. I must admit that. It's quite pleasurable, that is, actually, just sitting there, taking your time. You haven't got to worry about anyone else and switching your phone on and scrolling aimlessly. And then, like, 5 hours has passed and you're still sitting in there.
And you get the ring of confidence behind you.
The ring of confidence.
You know what I mean, Chris? Then you have to look in the bathroom mirror to see if you've got the ring of confidence.
I hope you've got a clean toilet, Roy.
Chris, do you know something, Chris? In fact, I've just... I have mental illness. Sometimes I have depressive periods. And winter, I get that sad, so it's a depressive period. And I've just gone OCD-ish about cleaning the house. I've cleaned all my tables off. I've cleaned everything. Plus, I had a lady visit me as well, a lady visitor, and I had to impress. So I cleaned the house ready for her coming over. First date.
At your age, how do you manage to do it, Roy?
What? Clean or have ladies?
Have lady visitors at your age?
Oh, Chris, they love me around here, mate.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, do you have to pay money or what?
Here. No, I'm you know, around here, I'm a good catch downstairs and I'm a good catch in the face.
I hope you haven't got.
I'm quite popular with the ladies around here, mate.
Well, I didn't know that. I hope
and Chris, as well, Chris. I mean, my face has seen better days, but I've always had a fit-looking body, muscular body, so that attracts them, don't it? You know, tight shirt on. Do
you go to the gym or anything then, Roy?
I was a boxing coach for quite a few years, Chris. So I've got. The gyms I grew up in where there's Penarski's a rough old gym. It was like no chandeliers or tellies or anything like that. If the roof didn't fall in, it was a good night. You know, it was a rough and ready place.
Yeah.
It was like a sweatshop.
Bit like an old scout hut.
Yeah, it was like a sweatshop, mate. It's famous for a thing called PT. He used to do this PT, and you're locked in a room. You open the doors, it's like a foggy day, and then we put our head in a barrel of water to cool off.
Right, yeah, and there was no heating in these places, was there?
Well, that was the heating. If you were cold, you weren't running fast enough.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Can I just, because you know I've got a bit of a fascination with toilets for some reason, don't you? Can I just ask, and I'm hoping the answer to this is no. Please tell me you haven't got a toilet brush.
Oh, yes, I have, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Bought a new one. Recently bought a new one.
Oh, they are disgusting things. How anyone can have one of those down to the toilet, I do not know. Toilet brushes are absolutely disgusting.
What do you find disgusting about it, Chris? I don't understand.
Oh, because because there's all the poo on there, dear.
Oh, no. What you do is you plunge your toilet out, clean your toilet, and then you flush your toilet again, and while it's flushing, you wash your brush.
Oh, no.
And then you put a bit of Zoflora in the bowl that it goes in.
Well, I find if you just keep flushing it enough, then eventually, if there is any sediment attached to the side of the toilet...
Well, if there is, then you can wash it in the sink.
Oh, no, Roy. You don't wash it in the sink, do you?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying I wash mine. It's never dirty, but if it was dirty, when I've used it, I flush the toilet first, so there is no sediment. Then I wash the toilet, or the bowl with it, and then I flush the toilet again. And while it's flushing, I wash the brush in that clean water.
Oh, I can't have a toilet brush. I mean, if there is something that's stuck, I just get a little piece of toilet paper, give it a little quick wipe while it's still damp, and then away it goes.
You'd rather have it near your hands than away from your hands on a big brush that's miles away. And I always put a bit of Zoflora in the toilet brush holder with a bit of water.
Sean Pye says, Roy, where do you live? I'm moving there. Sean wants to move to be near you.
Yeah,
I keep telling him that you're not that way inclined. He's not that way inclined, Sean. He likes women, dear.
Yeah, it's fan base. They just want to come and sit here and they're like the dog. I've had that dog. It's like the dog now. They'd all be like the dog on the other side of the room. Look him sitting there staring at me, wondering at my beauty.
Oh, for God's sake!
Even the dog. It's a female dog, by the way. It is a female dog. For anybody listening, it is a female dog. The dog sits there and just stares at me, and I'm just thinking, "Oh, could God make something so beautiful?"
Is that what you think when you look in the mirror? Is it really?
I've got lovely blue eyes, I think, and Chris, we look a lot like each other.
Do we? I do hope not.
You've seen the picture. Well, I think we do. I think we could be twins, brothers by different mothers.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think we could. I'm going to come and meet you in the summer. I'm going to bring my lady friend, and we're going to come and take you up for a stick of rock and a cup of tea.
Where are we going?
Fishing. Well, I was into it. Fish catch.
Where are you? Closer to Berkshire or Lincolnshire? Which?
Oh no, mate. Skeggy's about an hour from me. I'm in Derbyshire.
Well, why don't we meet in Skeggy then? We could meet in Skeggy at at the trawler's catch for a nice fish and chips. How's that? I mean, that's good. That would be good.
There will be obviously there will be. I'm bringing my lady friends because otherwise there will be mutterings. Otherwise.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, terrible. People like to gossip, don't they? Dreadful people.
Do you hear that?
Dreadful people.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that, Chris? When that says security cameras?
Eh?
No, I just wondered. My phone every so often, if someone's on the backyard, it tells me they've activated the cameras. I wondered if you could hear it at your end.
What, security cameras?
Yeah.
What?
You don't hear my phone say that. No, I just wondered if you...
Can I look at my security cameras? What, at my house from here?
No. Every time someone's on my yard, while you're talking to me, I hear my phone say security cameras activated. I just wondered if you could hear it as well.
No, can't hear that. No.
All right. It'll just be fans. It'll be fans on the backyard, just clambering for autographs and things like that. No, nothing too.
What cameras? What security cameras have you got? I got Ring.
I've got those Blink. I told you before.
Oh,
Blink TX2.
Very good. Yes,
they're
Blink.
brilliant, mate.
Blink. Yeah.
They're brilliant.
I've actually got one here.
Brilliant.
I've got one here at the caravan now. I've got one here at the caravan now as well. Looks out the window.
Oh, Blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blinks are brilliant, mate. The quality's good. The notifications are good. Obviously, as long as the internet don't go off it. I'm trying. I like to look what Jason's a big fan. You know, Jason Hughes.
Oh, I know
Yozza.
that. Jason's always been a big fan. Is he really?
No, a big fan of me, not you.
Oh,
me.
What of you?
Yeah.
Perhaps you should do your own shows, Roy. That might be a thing.
Yeah,
you could follow me. You know.
I would, Chris, but I wouldn't like to leave you just with one viewer.
Oh, you'd go on at the same time as me, would you?
Well, if I did, you'd only get one viewer.
Actually, that's just how it is.
There is a global spot.
And at that point, I would have to.
Available now that Retro stopped. There's a global spot available on YouTube.
I will have to just give up at that point. You know, you have to know when to give up. That's just how it is. Just how it is.
We love you, though, Chris. We do love you.
Mandy says, what you don't know is your missus used to use your toothbrush to clean the toilet. Oh, my Lord. I bet some people do that as well.
That's why I've lost my teeth, then. Right, I better go, because, you know, the fans have had their fair share of me now, I believe.
Do you think so? You think you've spoken enough now, do you?
Well, yeah, I don't want to be seen as a Trump character, do I? You know, overspoken.
It's nice to know when someone knows they've said enough and it's time to go and move on to someone else without me having to wrap the call up. Thank you, Roy.
The pleasure's been all yours, Christopher.
The pleasure... Pardon?
The pleasure has been all yours.
If you say so, Roy. Cheerio.
Bye-bye. Bye.
That's what he does. Blooming good phone calls. That's Roy Brownlow calling there. He often buys people little. If he ever buys you a little gift, like a little super chat pen or something like that, you know, be grateful to Roy. Let's read some of your messages coming through there. Jason Hughes, my toilet brush don't turn brown after first use, so I took it back under warranty. Flush to clean. That's what absolutely, Fran. Flush to clean. A little bit of toilet paper down the toilet, flush, and it cleans. Joseph McDonald always uses a toothbrush. How awful. Awful. Hello to Info on Scuba Diving. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Chris. How are you?
A very good evening. Welcome to our show. First time we've spoken, isn't it?
I think so.
How are the world of toilets in your life?
Yeah, shall we pass on that?
Eh?
Shall we pass on that?
Who's keeping your toilets clean, sir? Is it Carl?
Carl?
What's your name?
Penelope's my partner.
Could you, I can't hear you properly. Could you come to the phone a bit closer or something?
Sorry, I tell you what, hang on a second. If I plug
Are you on speakerphone?
No, but if I plug in the... I forgot to plug the right microphone in.
Oh, that's better. I can hear. Oh, are you on the Skype?
I'm on Skype, yes.
Oh,
sorry,
okay. Yeah. That's you have to have the sort of right thing plugged in. Well, a very good evening. Now, whereabouts in the world are you?
Not far from you. Well, about an hour from you, North Lincolnshire.
Whereabouts?
North Lincolnshire, up near the Humber Bridge.
Oh, okay. Years ago, I from my nephew's 16th birthday. This is Gary, so this is 16, 20, this is 15 years ago. For his 16th birthday, I got him a flight experience to fly a plane, and we got there, and it was going to be him and a pilot. I went there with my sister, and we were going to watch and film this, and we got in a little wooden hut, and the bloke says. He says, it's entirely up to you. I'm happy to take your boy up on his own. Or, for an extra 30 quid, we can take a 4-man plane up and you can sit in the back. So that's what we did. And my nephew, Gary, flew us over the Humber Bridge. And you know why he was successful at that? Do you know why? Because there wasn't any reversing involved.
I'm learning to fly at the moment, but not a plane.
Are you really? What?
It's called a paramotor. It's basically a giant fan that straps on your back, and you have a parachute over your head, and you take off from wherever you like, and you don't have a license, and you can fly obviously within the legal limits of, fly zones and everything.
Yes. And
you fly with that. You take off with this giant parachute on you.
Is it a bit like a hang glider?
Well, only in as much as it's a light aircraft. It's considered a light aircraft, but
wow.
You don't need a license for it.
Oh, and how high do you go?
You can go as high as 5,000 or 6,000 feet.
Oh my lord!
Maybe a bit higher.
And literally, all you've got is a parachute and a motor.
That's it.
Oh, I don't think I could do that. I'd be terrified. You see, I mean, I'd like to do these things like hang gliding, but I wouldn't want to be more than 10 foot off the ground. But presumably, the higher you go, the safer you are. Because if something goes wrong, you've got time to try and do something about it. Would that sound about right?
Exactly. Yeah, you can glide in on.
Well, so have you been out? You do this. So there's no one to do this with. You've got to do it on your own, haven't you?
You get training. You don't just sort of try and, well, some people do and they end up dead, but you get training, or at least I'm going to get. I've got some training. What
do? Are you strapped to someone or something to start with?
No. You just have somebody on the ground,
right?
Who the main thing is to get this parachute, for want of a better word, to stay up on its own from you on the ground, handling it and making sure it doesn't collapse. Once you've mastered that, you can start the engine on your back, and you run, and and then you take off.
And is that a petrol engine or is it some sort of electric thing?
Yes, it's petrol. They haven't quite got battery life good enough yet.
Yeah. I mean, I saw somewhere on the news that in years to come we will be flying in electric planes. Can you imagine that? Electric planes. I mean, I wonder if they've got any fast. I wonder how long it would take to charge those up.
Yeah. The reason I was ringing you, Chris, was I got a couple little radio stories to share with you if you're interested.
Please do. Yes, we're listening.
Back in the late 80s, I worked as a freelance technical operator at Chiltern Radio in Dunstable.
Yep, Chiltern Radio.
That's the one.
Oh, how sad! I know all these jingles. I love radio jingles. I love them.
Well, overnight, their programs weren't live. From 2 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the morning, they put them out on a pre-recorded tape, which was actually a hi-fi VHS machine with the machine running overnight. And then there was a 20-minute safety extra in case something happened.
Yeah.
Well, one Saturday morning, I went in with Paul McKenna, the guy who does the hypnotism.
Yes, hypnotist.
He was doing the Saturday show. This is before he became famous doing hypnotism. And he'd been out somewhere the night before, running late, and he'd lost his keys. So there we were at 6:20 trying to get into the studio, couldn't get in, going round all the outside, and we managed to find a window that was open, and we crawled in through the window. But by then, the program had finished because 6 o'clock had gone, and so there was dead air for about 10 minutes.
In those days, you didn't have that automatic cut-in thing that they have now, no?
That's right. There was nothing there.
Am I right in thinking that thing that they've got now, it detects if there's no sound for 10 seconds, that is actually at the transmitter site, isn't it?
I don't know now. I'm so far out of working on local radio.
Right, okay.
But, so we're there breaking into the studio, finally getting on air. And then on the TV monitor, the closed circuit TV, I see the police at the door. So I couldn't actually let them in, but I had to go.
Have you gone? Oh, I think we've lost him. Where have you gone?
I'm
Hello?
still here.
Oh, got you. Yep, you disappeared then for a moment.
Okay. I was saying I had to get out of the studio into reception and shout through the window to the policeman that we weren't burglars and that what had happened.
Is this why you were actually on air?
I wasn't on air, but Paul was on air. I was doing all the playouts of the commercials.
Yeah.
Because in those days they used to split the output between Bedford, Dunstable, and Milton Keynes.
2 different areas, yes?
3 different areas, so they all had different adverts, and you had to sit there and make sure they all ended at the same time.
It's all electronic. It's all computer now. You never do anything.
That's right.
Very clever.
Yeah. Well, the other story I got for you is even earlier on in the decades. It was the late 70s.
Right.
And a friend of mine worked on Swansea Sound.
Yeah.
And I went to see him one weekend, and we were driving into the studio, and we were talking about phone-in programs. And in those days, they used to have a thing called a profanity delay, which was basically a 1/4-inch tape deck with the tape coming off of the record head, looping out, and then going back into the into the replay head about 10 seconds later, so that you could, if somebody was rude, you could cut them off. So we're driving in, and all of a sudden, his show comes on that he did a few days ago, because the guy in the studio doing a phone-in had forgotten to put the thing into record. So my mate Andy's show was playing out over the crazy.
I've seen those gadgets. It's like it was a loop tape, wasn't it?
That's right.
So
yeah.
so the one you used, presumably that was a 2-reel tape. If it had a whole show on it, it would have a two reels, wouldn't it? I've seen
it was
the one.
Just a standard tape machine, a Revox.
Yes.
And then you'd just loop the tape out from the 2 heads and feed it back in again with a 10-second delay.
Of course, all done with electronics now. You often see, I don't know if you've ever heard Nick Abbott on LBC, but often he'd be having some sort of conversation, and then all of a sudden he'd say, "Did you get that?" And he's talking to his producer. And his producer comes back, "Yeah, I got that one." And so someone had sworn, and they've pushed the dump button, and that it's all electronic. Computer now has cut in and done the job there. Yeah, fascinating. Do you still work now?
No, I've been out of that for a long, long time now. It's all changed. I was back in the days when people actually had record decks and CD players. It's all on computer file now.
That's right. Now, in fact, and there's so many. I'm glad in a way that I never got into radio, because I'd be out of a job now. They've got rid of hundreds of DJs here. Recently, where they've networked up and joined up all to one.
It just isn't. It isn't what it used to be. Local radio. No way. But you're saying about losing DJs and presenters in America. I was out in America back in the 80s, and one DJ would present 3 different types of programs all at the same time.
Oh well, we didn't. I don't think we had that here. But in America, I think it's America. I saw a story today, actually, where iHeartRadio has just dumped literally thousands of DJs by doing a similar thing to what we do here and networked everything up, so that the localness has gone. It's just such a shame.
Yeah, local radio. Same with ITV. ITV's not what it used to be. But anyway, there you are. I won't bore you anymore. I shall go before I outdo my welcome.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to talk to you for the first time live on the show.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Right, see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
There we are. Our friend there calling in. A couple of radio stories there. Let's see. Roy says, Myriad, the software, auto detects silence and goes into auto playlist, and it auto times playlists so ads and news fit in. That's on radio, which is one way of doing it. But I'm pretty sure that some of the radio stations, if not all of them, they have some sort of box or something at the transmitter site. So if they hear silence for sort of, I think it's more than 10 seconds, this box cuts in and starts playing something out. And they put it at the transmitter site, so if the line goes down, they can pick it up from there, you see, and that's how it works. Got another call coming in. Who's that, please? Hello? Who's that, please? No, can't hear that one. Okay, so there we are. Okay, can't hear that one. Anyone else want to call in? 02081443477 is our phone number this evening, boys and girls. Let's just scroll up there. If there's any little interesting messages there, where are we now? Glenda, most people in the United States listen to Sirius radio, which is via satellite. Yes, I'm always quite amazed by that, to be honest, Glenda. I don't know anyone that listens to satellite radio. We have it on the televisions as well, actually. We do have radio on Freeview, but again, I don't really know anyone that has it on other than in hairdressers and places like that. To the phones then, Glenda's on the line. She's in Pennsylvania, 6500. Da 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 da.
Hi.
You all right, Glenda? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Mr. England is with you tonight. Hello, Glenda. You're right, love.
Hi. Yeah, I was actually disappointed because I saw that you were online on YouTube, and I was in a meeting for my job, and I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to miss your show. But no, I made it out in time, so I was happy about that. But I wanted to
I'm still here. I'm still here 5 hours later, Glenda.
I know. I wanted to comment about the whole radio thing.
Please
because
do.
you were
Yes.
saying something about the iHeartRadio.
Yes.
That's been going on for years. I know that there's a local radio station in my area that got rid of several DJs probably a good 10 years ago when iHeart just started to take over some of the local stations. But as far as Americans, a lot of us listen to something called Sirius Radio, and I've written to you in the past telling you about it. Every radio every car here in the U.S. comes with satellite radio installed in it. The new ones do, at least. And what it is it's called Sirius Radio.
Yes.
And in all the new cars, you can sometimes get a subscription for free for like a year. Some are longer than that. Some are only a couple of months. But then after that, you can keep on paying for it. But it has any kind of station you would want to listen to. There's talk radio, pop, rock, oldies, 60s, 70s, like it just goes on and on and on. And then you can download an app called the Sirius Radio app, and that even gives you more choices of music to listen to. So I hardly ever listen to local radio.
Is that right? I know that on a similar thing, the internet radio, which I'm sure you've heard about. See, we've never really I don't think we have satellite radio here. No, yes, we do. Of course we do. Of course we do. You can get it on the Freeview. We have satellite radio, which plays out through your television. I just don't know anyone that listens to the radio that way. The other thing we have, of course.
But.
Yeah. Go on,
No,
Glenda.
I was going to say, don't you have anything in your cars? Like, doesn't your car come with satellite radio?
No. All we've got is we have FM. And we have something called DAB. Do you have DAB radio?
No, what's that? DAB radio? What's that stand for?
Digital audio broadcasting.
Oh.
But it doesn't come from satellite. It comes from transmitters, from, masts.
Okay.
It comes from masts.
Okay, but do you have to pay for that?
No, we don't pay for any radio at all. All our radio is free. End of.
Interesting.
Yes, all our radio. So
that would be a good business for... Yeah.
The BBC...
That would be a good business for somebody.
I don't know, because you see, the trouble is, we've always had it for nothing. So I think anyone who came along and there are, similar to you, probably not as many, but we have countless radio stations. There are 70s stations, 80s, 90s. There's talk stations. In this country, we don't really have that many talk stations. We've got 2 LBC stations, one which was recently only just started, which is a rolling news channel. That's now nationwide. That only started... it's been going on for a while in London, but it used to stop at 7 p.m. and then it would carry on. Rebroadcasting the chat station, which is like a phone-in. So there's 2 LBC stations now. One which is like a chat station and phone-in, and the other's rolling news. There's talk radio, which again is relatively new. I think that's been going a couple of years now. That's starting to pick up. There's Radio 5 Live, which is kind of a bit wishy-washy, really. Bit too politically correct for me, you know. And I think there's another couple of local ones, but we don't really have that many talk stations, you know. And because
interesting.
Yeah, because there's only a couple of them, you kind of switch on one to the other, and they're all talking about the same thing. I mean, I do have people I like to listen to on talk radio. Julia Hartley Brewer, she's in the morning, and a bloke called Mike Graham. He does a programme called The Independent Republic of Mike Graham. He's on talk radio. They're very good. Now, you have a very famous talk radio station person on Sirius. If you mentioned his name, I'd remember it.
Howard Stern?
That's the one, Howard Stern.
Yep. Oh, I love him. I listen to him every day.
Right. We got a message here. Info Scuba Diving says DAB does not work very well in cars. No, you're absolutely right. We one of the LBC stations, for example, if you're listening on FM, they're still on FM, you can get it right down to Brighton, right? Actually, no, it's national now, isn't it? But you're quite right. DAB doesn't work that well, but we don't have satellite stations. Howard Stern, yes, he's very famous, isn't he? Been there for years, hasn't he?
He gets paid. Honestly, Chris, I was just looking it up yesterday because I listen to him all the time, and I think he makes like between 60 and 80 or 90 million per year.
Does he really? Gosh.
Yes, look it up. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's making boatloads of money, but he does a lot of charitable work, him and his wife, for homeless animals, and they fostered hundreds of cats in New York City.
We love cats,
so
Glenda.
He does a lot of good with his money. Yes, I know. We love cats.
We love cats.
I have 3 of them.
Do you listen to Howard Stern much, do you?
Yeah, I listen to him about every day.
Right.
And with the Sirius Radio app, I can go in and I can actually listen to shows from hours ago. Like I can, on my phone, I can go backwards and listen to stuff. And there's also a app or a station within the app that's called Radio Classics.
Yeah.
And that has a lot of the old radio shows from like the 40s, 50s, like Suspense.
Brilliant.
And Richard Diamond and all these old, because I mean, that's what people had back in the day, was just radio. That's what their television was. So I listen to that a lot when I'm working.
Absolutely. That sounds absolutely brilliant, what you've got over there with that Sirius radio. Tell me, being satellite radio, so you've got it on in the car, presumably if you go in a tunnel, you lose it. Am I right?
Yeah, I do lose it if I go into like a tunnel. Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
But it pretty much, anywhere you go, you have access. I mean, you can listen to a station from Pennsylvania all the way over to California. If you were traveling, you could listen to the same station no matter where you were at. It's very nice.
That's amazing. What have you got anything that you regularly listen to? What sort of, like, either talk or music stations? What are your stations like for you?
Well, I like the Radio Classics. I like Howard Stern. I listen to Joel Osteen sometimes. He's a famous preacher over here in the United States.
Okay, is that like
and I listen to this. Yeah, I like the 60s. I like the 70s. I like the 80s. I like pretty much any kind of music.
Yeah, it's anything, isn't it? Yeah, we've all got our favourites there. Wow, Howard Stern, 80 million a year.
And
I mean, I've just got I've got £2 today. The rest was for the children.
I'm telling you, Chris, you've got to come over to the United States. This is where you'd make it big over here.
I wouldn't know where to
you
start.
Get your own radio station on Sirius.
I tell you, joking aside, given the right job was offered, I don't know. I mean, I think you know, Glenda. Money to me is secondary. You know, it really is secondary to me. You know, to say, oh, we want you to come and empty bins, we'll pay you £10 million a month. Okay? I wouldn't take that job. That is of no interest to me at all. But, you know, if someone says, you know, would you like, we've got a show for you here on the radio, perhaps, or even on the telly, something like that. We can't pay you much, but we think you do really well at this. Do you want it? Then I would go. That is absolutely true. If a job like that came along, I'd go. The trouble is, how do you get to it? Do you know? How'd you get to it? And I'm very happy sitting here. Oh, have I lost you, Glenda? Glenda?
No, I'm
Oh,
here.
you're
I'm
still
listening.
there. Sorry, your little light disappeared
Yeah.
then. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place. So I've got a different system up there in front of me today. You know, if a job like that came along and the money, as long as I could live, that would be fine. I'd probably give that a go or something like that. It's just, how do you get to that? You know, you have to knock on these doors. And quite honestly, to be able to sort of walk basically into another room where I live and do what I love doing, that's it for me, you know? That's it for me.
Yeah, it's convenience. That's why, I mean, it really is. If that's what makes you happy, then that's what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's always lovely to talk.
How was your friend?
So,
I just wanted to ask you, how was your friend Ronnie?
Oh, he's doing okay. I spoke to him earlier today. Yes, he's not doing too bad at all. He's at the moment. He's having
good.
He's having his house decorated at the moment. Not the sort of colours I'd choose, to be honest. Grey. I mean, it's a bit dreary, isn't it? I mean, look, he sent me some photographs earlier today of this house that's being decorated, but it's grey and white. I mean, would you like those colours? I mean, I suppose that's a modern thing, isn't it?
Well,
modern, really.
actually, we did have my office painted gray before, but then we repainted it, and it's like a dark blue. If you know anything about America, there's a big football team. It's a college football team called Penn State. It reminds me of a Penn State blue.
Oh,
So,
right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
When I was in Vegas with my nephew, that was not last November, the November before, we went to Vegas, and we were walking down the main Vegas road. Well, they call that the Strip, don't they? The Strip. And there was thousands of people gathered outside this bar. Okay. And what's going on here? Oh, there's a big football match. I said to Jimmy, now I'm not into sport, but I wanted to feel the atmosphere, you know? And we went to the box office and says, any chance of some tickets tonight? We've got massive stadium. You probably know it. Massive stadium. We've got nothing at all, I'm afraid. I said, not even anything at the back. He said, there's nothing available at all. So I really wanted to go and experience an American, I don't know if it was baseball or football. It was irrelevant, really. I wanted to experience that and the crowd and all that. But unfortunately, we couldn't get to go.
Well, when you go over and you take your trip to New York City to visit LaBelle, then you can go and you can see, depending on what time of the year you go, you could either go to a football game or you could go to a baseball game. If you come in the summer, they have a big baseball team there. I'm not a sports person, so I couldn't even tell you who it is. I think it's like the New York Mets I don't know. But anyway, you could go there and you could watch a baseball game.
All right. I will absolutely do that if I go.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say hello, and I'm glad that you're doing well, and I'm glad things are going well for you. So I just wanted to say hi.
Glenda, it's always a pleasure to call in. I know we only speak every few months, but that's good enough for me. Thank you ever so much for calling in, Glenda, all right?
Thank you.
Cheerio,
Take care.
my darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Glenda. She's lovely, Glenda in Pennsylvania. Just coming to some of your messages there. I'll start at the bottom, actually. Sean, tell him £1 million to empty a bin. He's straight there. I expect you would be, wouldn't you? Hello to George Bond this evening. Simon Gilman's in the house. Hello, Simon. He likes playing the bingo on Sunday night. He says, I would ring in, but don't like to waste your time. You don't know. A phone call is not a waste of time, Simon. It's not a waste of time. It really isn't. If you've got something interesting, then call in. That's fine. I got chosen to do jewellery service. But he's got an excuse from it due to medical reasons. He listens to Sea Haven FM or Heart FM, which is one of the sort of generic ones in this country. Someone's calling in there. Good evening. I'm not sure who you are. Hello, who's that, please?
Hi, my name is Rudy. How are you?
Hello, who's that, please?
My name is Rudy. I'm calling you all the way from across the ocean. I'm in the United States as well. I just went on YouTube, saw your stream.
Hello to Rudy. Hello, Rudy. Welcome along to the show. What part of the US are you in, sir?
Thanks. Say that again?
Sorry, where?
Hello?
Where are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Indiana. I am right by a big city called Chicago.
Ah, Chicago. Chicago, Chicago. Da 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 da. Lovely.
That's right.
Lovely. I've never actually
That's
been.
right. So,
Go on, go, Rudy. I'm listening.
go ahead. Oh, okay. I was going to ask you. So, are we just here to talk about anything, or is there a certain genre that we're talking about? I'm sorry.
We really just try to keep it fairly light-hearted, if you see what I mean. Don't really do politics or anything like that, anything that's too serious. Just a bit of a light-hearted chat. That's what we do on our chat show. What you got to say?
Cool. Sounds good. What were you going to say about Chicago?
Chicago. I haven't actually been out of the airport at Chicago. Just on it was actually, again, coming back from Vegas, not last time, but the time before, and we stopped in Chicago airport. I've got to say, it was one of the most boring airports I've ever been to in my life. There's just nothing there, other than somewhere, a few places to eat.
Just cold.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, just cold.
Is it cold?
I would agree with that. I'm over here right now, and the snow is coming down, and it's cold.
Have you got a lot of bad weather at the moment?
So the weather is our weather's been pretty bipolar for the most part. Some days it's been some days it's been warmer than others, and then some days it's just freezing. Like for the past month, there's been no snow, and then the past couple of days, there's been a foot of snow. So I mean, the weather's pretty bipolar. It's crazy.
Yes.
What about you?
No, it's not too bad. We haven't really been hit by a hard winter yet. But actually, February tends to be the month where if it's going to be bad, it'll be bad in February. But we don't get... I mean, it's the weather today in comparison to when I was a child in the 70s, it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. We used to have ice. The winter would come and there would be ice on the ground for weeks. And very thick fogs where you couldn't see through. These days, we tend to have maybe a couple of days of very cold weather, and then it becomes mild again. The climate has definitely changed to what it used to be. So the snow that's come down today, where you are, is that around for ages and ages? Is it?
The snow does tend to sit for a little bit, maybe a couple days, sometimes a week. When the end of winter's around, sometimes it'll sit for as long as a month. So the snow does tend to sit. Question: Where are you? I see it says you're in the UK. Where are you?
I'm in two places actually, not at the same time. During the week, I tend to be in Lincolnshire, which is kind of you probably know where London is. It's up from London and then slightly to the right. Okay, so northeast, West Midlands, northeast of the country, sort of thing. And at the weekends, I'm at my house, which is in Berkshire. So that is London, and it's only 35 miles from the centre of London, and it's kind of west, sort of southwest sort of way. So I'm in two places there. I live quite near, about 25 minutes from Windsor Castle, which I'm sure you've seen on the television a few times.
Yeah. All right, so I got something for you. Now this is a long one. So there is a place in the UK called Wales, right?
Wales, yes, Welsh Wales, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it's a city or if it's a town, but I'm just curious if you've ever heard of this.
Right, yes, of course. Yeah, Wales is a country. It's a country.
I believe it's in northwest Wales. It's called hold on, give me a second. Land via Verschwingish will get a quadruple length stilio go.
Yeah, that's the long one. I mean, congratulations to you. You as an American, you can say that. I probably wouldn't be able to say that.
Yeah, it's definitely a tongue twister.
Congratulations to you, sir. Have you been to the UK?
I've been practicing for that one. I want to visit it just because of the name. Have you ever been to that place, or is that far away?
I haven't.
Why is it like...
Wales is very beautiful. You see, the UK, the island, in the north is Scotland, in the south is England, and the west is Wales. Wales is actually a whole country. It's not just a town. It's a whole country, and there's 3 countries on that island. And then if you go across the Irish Sea, then you've got Northern Ireland, which is also part of the UK. So it's actually 4 countries, the UK: Scotland, England, Northern Ireland, and Wales. In no particular order. Have you gone?
Oh,
Oh,
man.
you're still there. Yeah.
I have not gone. I do want to go to. I do want to go to the UK. I do want to visit. I heard there's a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah.
And just like the last caller was saying, if you ever want to come to America, there's a lot of cool stuff to do. I know you said, from what I heard in the chat earlier, that you went to Vegas before.
Oh, I've been to a few places. I've been to New York, Vegas. I've been to Florida quite a few times. To Florida, I love the Disney stuff. And Maine in 19.
That's where I'm from.
You're from Florida, are you? What part?
I am from Florida. I'm from Southwest Florida. It's a city called Fort Myers. It's about 2.5 hours south of Orlando.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough. You're down in the forts down there, are you?
Yeah, down in the fort. So there's a place called Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is on the east side of the state, and Fort Myers is on the directly across. It is on the west.
I've certainly heard of Fort Lauderdale, but I haven't been that way. I tend to stick around Orlando, where all the tourist stuff is. And I've also been to Maine in 1979. I was with the Scouts, and we did this whole hiking and walking thing for 50 miles. And that is great memories, that place. Yeah, this Scout thing, the Maine High Adventure. What a beautiful place. They've got bears walking around there as well, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Man, you're pretty interesting. You have a story. You have a story for everything.
Pardon?
Hello?
Say that again?
I said, man, you are very interesting, Mr. Chris. You have a story for everything.
A little story. Wow, I've lived a while, haven't I? That's what you get when you're lucky enough to get to sort of over 50. Not everyone, unfortunately, gets there. But you collect all these little stories and that over the years, and it's wonderful to be able to do this and just fire up an internet connection, be able to talk about it. We're very lucky that we can do this.
That's right. So let me ask you this before I go.
Yes.
Do you have any advice to give anybody on how to live anybody's life, or how to live the best of your life, or do you have any advice about anything?
How to live your life. When it comes to work, don't always go for the money. Go for something that makes you happy. As long as you've got enough money to live, it's unnecessary. Like the people of Microsoft and Amazon owners, they've got the billions and billions of pounds in the bank for what? Does that make you happy? No. And I've always gone along that. If you can find a job that you're happiest at, then that's all well and good. I think that's the one piece of advice I would give you.
That's so good. Hey, before I go, I have one last question. What was the last caller talking about with the satellite radio? I forgot what she was talking about.
Oh, she was talking about.
What was she talking about with the radio?
Yeah, she was talking about Sirius, because we don't have satellite radio here in the UK, as you do there. No one over here has a satellite radio in the car.
Oh yeah, all the new cars come with it here. The only thing that sucks about it is that you have to pay for it. It's
yes,
like $10
you see.
or $15 a month.
Oh, it's $10 to $15. You see, I think they'd have trouble setting up something over here like that, because all radio has always been free to us. That's just how it is.
Right.
I don't think they'd be able to set it up. I honestly don't think people would pay for it. That being said, television was always all free. And then cable companies and satellite companies came along, and a lot of us have got subscriptions. My subscription is, I've got Netflix, which I think is great. I've also got Amazon Prime, which includes their videos as well. And there's lots of other streaming services, of course. Apple TV, the BBC and ITV teamed up to give us BritBox, which is quite a new one. But I'm quite happy with my Netflix. So maybe Sirius or something like that could come to the UK, start doing it, but I think it would take them a long time, and they'd make losses for a long time before people would start signing up if they did. Would I sign up to satellite radio? Probably not. Probably not.
I don't think it would. I don't think.
Oh, I'm losing you
What I was
there.
about to say. I don't think satellite radio would do good in the UK. I'll give 5-second version, but
Yeah.
satellite radio would not do. Can you hear me?
That's breaking up quite badly now.
Hello?
It has been the whole call, to be honest,
Hello?
but we've stuck with it.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm using online. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll tell you what, we'll leave it there. It's been a pleasure to
Can you hear
talk to you, Rudy. Real pleasure to talk to you, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the show, all right? Cheerio now.
Take care.
There
All
we are.
right. Take care.
That was nice to have someone new there. Rudy calling in from Chicago there. Love, fantastic. What a fantastic lot of calls we've had tonight. Thank you so much for those. I want to read some of your messages there so you know you're not being left out. You'll notice when I'm on a call, I like to give all my concentration to the person on the phone. Otherwise, it just gets very, very messy. We can't sort of do messages and phone calls at the same time. You know, if you're going to call in, I'll give you 100% attention. All right, my darlings. Let's have a little look there. And we're what's the time? 26. Oh, okay. We're going to close the lines there, boys and girls. Thank you very much, those of you that called in tonight. Okay, we'll close the lines now, and another phone-in show for you, hopefully next Thursday at the same time. Okay, just coming to some of your messages there, boys and girls. Just a second. I've just got to close something down there. Where are we now? There we go. All right, so if you call in now, you'll get an answer phone now. The lines are now closed. All right, my darlings. Let's have a look. David from Hemel, a very good evening. As George Bond is there. Hello, George. David says perhaps Megan will phone in from Canada. I'm sure she's far too busy to call into little old lowly me sitting here all on my own. I can't see that happening, David. Can't see that happening either. Rachel's in the house. A very good evening to Rachel. She says, I certainly wouldn't be able to say that long Welsh word. No, is it the longest word in the English dictionary? Or something, that Welsh word? I'm not sure. Something like that, maybe. Good evening to Adrian Richardson. He's been there for a while. Hello to you, sir. Matt Anxiety is in the house. Good evening, Matt Anxiety. Steph Diamond. Beg his pardon, Steph. She's got friend in Fort Myers. I note, Steph, it says Steph Diamond. How did you change it? I think when you first had a YouTube, you put Stephanie and you couldn't change your name. Is this another account? Or were you able to eventually change that name? Which is interesting. DJ, Roy Brownlow says, a person from North... Someone's trying to call in there on the Amazon Echo. Can you hear that? Someone's trying to call me on the Amazon Echo. Where are we now? Where was I there? Just got lost there. Roy Brownlow says, a person from North Wales, especially one who speaks with this dialect or accent, is known as a North Walian, or a Gog. Is that right? From the Welsh goggled, meaning north. I don't know where'd you get this information from, Roy? You're like a walking encyclopedia, dear. A walking encyclopedia. You really are. Steph's got friends in Fort Myers. Okay. That's lovely. Let's have a look. Donald Trump's on hold. No, he didn't call in tonight, Donald. Little Donny's far too busy to talk to little old me, dear. Far too busy. Rowan Riley lived in Orlando for 8 years. Did you work there, Rowan? Rowan, aren't you on the planes? Are you on the planes? I can't remember now, Rowan. I'm sure. Are you on the planes? What did you do in Orlando? Were you working on the planes? Fran, holidays in Cornwall. Oh, it's my nephew trying to call in. You won't be able to call in while I'm doing this, Gary. I'm afraid. He's trying to call in on the Amazon Echo. That could be an idea, couldn't it? I wonder if we can connect our Amazon Echoes and work them like that somehow. Let's have... Chris, give the kids pens for payment. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I'll do that then. I'll give the kids pens for payment. Pens for the $2, for the £2. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I'll get them to choose the colours as well. I'll get them to choose the colour. 2 pens for my nephew's children. It's very nice of you. Thank you, Roy. Glenda pays $30 a month for her Gosh, that seems to be a lot of money. That's a lot of money, I think, to pay for a radio, to listen to radio. See, as I say, we don't pay to listen to radio at all. We really don't. That's a lot. That's a lot. I want to hear one of our English friends do an American accent. Well, be on the next show now, Glenda. All right, no more calls tonight. I'm getting hungry now. I want my dinner. I think you're chatting to each other there. Let's just scroll down there a little bit. Hello to Grey Alien, is it? Grey Alien joining us on YouTube this evening. Hello, you're new to the show. A warm welcome to you, sir. Those of you that are new, can I ask you to hit the subscribe button and the notifications thing there? It all helps with the YouTube algorithm. I can't say it again. Algorithms. That's it. It all helps with the YouTube algorithms if you hit the little subscribe button here. If you're new to the show, we're generally here around about 9:30 in the morning, but I don't have a set schedule, so a show can appear at any time. So always have that notification switched on. Just a reminder, gang, no show on Friday mornings, okay? Fridays is too tight for me in time to be able to do a show in the morning, okay? Let's see. Adrian, my mum has an Amazon Echo, so do I. She has it, an emergency thing. She falls over. She can call out my name on it and call me on my mobile, and I can run to her house. That's a good idea. Actually, no, you can. You know, you can phone people on your Amazon. Certainly, certainly in the UK and in the USA. If your phone, whatever phone you've used to set up your Amazon thing, okay, that is connected to your thing. You can call either phones or other people's Amazons. If you had my personal phone number, you can say, Amazon Echo, you know the word, Amazon Echo, call Chris Reardon's mobile, and it will ring. And you can talk to me without actually holding a phone. That was my nephew trying to ring then. Obviously, I can't take the call while I'm doing a show there. So that's great, isn't it? That's great. David said, was that Chris's nephews pretending to be Americans? No, it wasn't. How rude. Can we have some more thumbs up, please? We'll have some more thumbs up. Let's try and scroll back a little bit there. See if we've missed anyone out. I don't like to miss anyone out. Trevor fostered a cat, did you? Simon Gilman, he's been on the radio when he was doing a Prince of Edinburgh course, Prince's Trust. I think it's a wonderful thing for a young person to do. That Prince, the Duke of Edinburgh, isn't it? Duke of Edinburgh's award thing. Lots for a young person to do. And I think it helps them along in their life. Gives them a bit of self-worth, you know? If all you do, when you're a child, is sitting there on a computer screen playing games, I don't think there's any. You don't get a feeling of self-worth. I mean, Adam, who called in earlier, when he taught those people with Downs to swim, that would have given you a great sense of self-worth, wouldn't it? Something like that. Absolutely brilliant. Anything like that. Tony King writes in, DAB radio, that could have been good, but money talks, so bitrate is far too low. You're right. You're absolutely right. Good evening to Maureen, who's texting in this evening as well. Good evening, Maureen. I don't know if you've just joined us, my darling. We're coming towards the end of the show here. Is that everyone? Let's have a look. Info Scuba Diving says DAB is a failure. Just scrolling right up there. And, okay. Righty-ho, I'm back down to the bottom. Steph, my Google thing does it. It's all... Oh, you've got the Google speaker thing, have you? Yeah, they're a bit... They're like an slightly different shape, they are, aren't they? The Google one. Presumably they're as good as the Amazon ones. I don't know. I mean, I can do so much with mine. I can turn my light in the bedroom on and off, turn my heating on and off if I want to. In fact, Alexa, turn living room heat on. Okay, so I've now put, because I obviously don't have the heater on. I'm not in that room at the moment. So I've just turned that off, ready for me to finish my show and do a bit of dinner and watch a little bit of television before I go to sleep. Okay. Right, I'm just getting the raffle tickets together and ready for you all, boys and girls. Exploration, no experience. new viewer to the show, welcome along to you. So you're just joining us towards the end of the show there, I'm afraid. So welcome anyway. Welcome anyway to the show. Don't forget, please click the little thumbs up button underneath the video screen. Now, those of you that are new to the show won't know about this, so let me just explain to you. On Monday, every Monday morning, round about 9:30 sort of time, we do a raffle. And the prize is a fridge magnet. Obviously don't give away huge amounts of prizes. It's not like I've got thousands of pounds coming in, unlike certain people who do YouTube programs and get all these thousands of pounds. No, I don't get thousands of pounds at all. So we do a little bit of fun on a Monday where we have a raffle, okay? To enter the raffle, you have to have a raffle ticket. It's all free, don't cost you any money at all or anything like that. And you can have a raffle ticket. Every time there's a show on, you can ask for a raffle ticket when I say, ask for your raffle tickets now. Now, I haven't said that yet, okay? So please hang on a little while, okay? Wait till I say raffle tickets now. I'll just explain what happens. So every time you see a show on, you can have a raffle ticket. If you are watching a recording of the show, you can also have a raffle ticket. Only one per show, so if you get one while you're watching live, you can't have one while you're watching a recording. So every show, you can have a raffle ticket. If you miss the live show and you watch a recording of the show, you can get your raffle ticket by email. All you've got to do is email me on that email address and say, can we have a raffle ticket, please? And I will reply to your email with your raffle ticket number. As I say, only one per show. If anyone's caught trying to get two by other methods, then you get taken out and you won't be able to play again, because it has to be fair to everyone. So every show, one raffle ticket. All right? Simple as that. And on Monday, round about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time, we draw a raffle and they all go in here. All right, here are the raffle tickets from the earlier shows in the week, and we literally just pull a raffle ticket out. All right? You see it all happening. There's no dodginess. I show you exactly what's going on. I'm not a magician, okay? I can't hide raffle tickets up my sleeve or anything like that. It's all very fair to everyone. And then we pull a raffle ticket out, someone wins, and you win a fridge magnet. All right? That's how it works. So, on tonight's show, here we go, boys and girls. Who wants a raffle ticket? Speak now. Speak now. One man and his Sprinter van. You're the first one there, 368. One man and Sprinter van. That's yours first. Okay, if you've asked before this, then ask again now. Okay? Do we get one and a bit ticket for today? No, mate. There were no tickets this morning. We didn't get to it. We didn't get to the tickets earlier this morning. Thank you very much. David in Hemel. David in Hemel. 369. Where are we? Colin Coates. 370. I also must ask you, please only ask once, otherwise it becomes very confusing. It's likely that I'll miss people out. When I've given out all the tickets, I'll say, okay, I've done them all. Have I missed anyone out? And then please speak. All right. Mandy Davenport, 371. Fran Green is... Oh, let me just move that up there. Fran Green, 372. SCTV. Hello to you. SCTV, 373. Wonder Woman, 374. Diane Jebb, 375. Amelia Dodd, 376. Scrolling. Where's Diane? There's Diane, Amelia. There's Gary Butler. Ticket, please, pal. Gary Butler, 377. Lee Toby, 378. Hello, Lee. Jason Hughes, 379. AJP, 380. One man and his sprint. Oh, you've done yours, haven't I? I've done yours, haven't I? That's it. There's Mick Davenport, 381. Mick's collecting everything at the moment. He's a collector. Butler's Empire, 382. That's Martin. Now, Butler's Empire, can I just have a little chat there? That's it's not a new channel, but he's putting a lot of work into that at the moment. If you watch the Butler's Empire channel, it'll tell you about all his journey at the moment through vegetarianism. I've been a vegetarian for years. That's my brother-in-law. He started doing it again. There's about 4 or 5 videos up there now of various different cooking things. It's very interesting. So give that a go. To go to Martin's channel, just click on the 3 dots that are next to his message where it says Butler's Empire, and there'll be a thing there that says go to channel, and you can have a look when I've finished. All right, my loves. So that's Butler's Empire. Roy Brownlow is free. What's that say? 383 for Roy. Tony King 384. No, there's no tickets for 3-hour show that you watched. Dear me. Take. That's all I get. Steph Diamond, thank you. Let's have a look. It's all right, Steph, I'll check. I've got them all ready in front of me. Nope, you haven't asked yet. You might have asked too early, darling. Steph Diamond is on 385. Thank you, young Steph. Where's that gone now? Lost that. Tony... Right, there's Steph. There we are. And Matt Ziety. Matt Ziety is on 386. Thank you, Matt. Heidi, 387. Spoke to her earlier on the phone. Gavin Bass, 388. What's that, Jason? Gary, I was just dialing and Chris shut the line. Well, you should have been quicker then, dear. Should have been quicker, shouldn't you? Jason Flavel, 389. Joey Millen, 390. Oh, Trevor's going to come to the karaoke tomorrow, are you? Okay, that'd be nice. We've had a couple of quiet nights recently. Obviously January, so it might be a little bit quieter, or maybe even a lot quieter than it is normally. But you can come and sing us a song or two. Where are you coming from, Trevor? Are you training or carring? How are you getting there, as a matter of interest? Thank you. Let's have a look. Adrian Richardson, 391. Okay, there we go. That looks like I've got to the end of the list. If you want a raffle ticket and I've missed you out, please ask for one now. Okay? And I'll happily correct that for you. We'd like a bit of correction. It's not 9:45. Good God, don't the time go quick? Blimey, it's 9:45 already. I can't believe that. Anyone else? Please speak now. If I've missed anyone else, please speak now while you're typing, and I'll just do today's birthdays. We always wish people happy birthday on here, boys and girls. I get the birthdays off the Facebook list, okay? My Facebook is Chris Reardon UK. If you want to join us on Facebook, it's Chris Reardon UK. If you've got a birthday and you're not on the Facebook and you want it mentioned, just let us know during the show and we'll do that for you. Okay, happy birthday on this Thursday, the 16th of January 2020, to Mr. Neil Bates, who's another one of the DJs at Central Station. Happy birthday to you, Neil. Nice to see you there. Emma Bailey today is 36 years old. Richmond Cloverfield, beautiful name. Happy birthday to you, Richmond. It's another profile for Emma there. And Colum O'Kane is 44 years old. So happy birthday, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. That's our little birthday today. Have a nice, I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. There's not much of it left yet. Right, let's have a look. Any more tickets to give out? Let's have a look at that. Thank you, Gary. Excellent, Gary. Excellent. Sean Pye, 392. Sean Pye. I'll just check. I don't think I've done one for you, Sean. Let's have a look. Got them here in front of me, mate. Sean Pye. There you go, Sean. 392. Thank you, Sean. MP Dodsworth 393. Jason. Oh, well, just a minute. Chris, don't play the video at the end. I've seen it 50 times today. I was going to show you a little video again that you might have missed this morning. Yeah, we got a video this morning that I showed you of my the hot chocolate that my nephew's wife made for us yesterday. So just have a little quick look at this before we go, all right? Approaching the door with great anticipation. Can I smell chocolate in the air? Yes. Yes.
Oh, don't film.
You got what's that smell? I can smell a cloth. A cloth.
Cloth?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a wet cloth somewhere.
I don't know.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Stacey.
Hello.
And we want to look at the bubbling hot chocolate. You're not looking very happy. Has it not worked?
Yeah, of course it's worked.
Oh, look at this. Oh, my word. Oh, I'm just trying to put it down this way.
We are.
Oh. Delicious. Thank you, lovely
That's
Stacey.
okay.
Can you smile for the millions of viewers?
Questions. How did it get in such trouble less than a year after its last rescue? Will this fix work? And does this intervention set a new precedent? The government thinks it's
Stacey's homemade hot
that
chocolate
question, like fly
with
remains in the air.
marshmallows.
Simon Jack,
Oh.
BBC News. Motor neuron disease is a devastating illness affecting the nerves in the brain and spinal cord, which direct.
Hot chocolate with marshmallows. It don't get any better than that. Absolutely delicious, and she's probably still with us this morning. Thank you, Adam. I've just got your request there. 394, ticket number 394 for you. Okie doke. That's it today. Thank you ever so much for joining us on this nighttime show. Well, that seems to work quite well, going direct through YouTube rather than using the restream service. So that must have been the problem over the last few days. That's all I can think. It's got to have been. I'll have to set this up again at home and do the same thing over there, I think, as well. Although we don't really have the problem at home at all, do we really? So we'll see how that goes. Okay, gang, thanks ever so much. Tomorrow night, I'll be hosting karaoke. Now, that's the karaoke if you're in the London area. In North London, karaoke at Central Station at 37 Wharfdale Road in London. Starts at 8:30 and finishes at midnight on a Friday night. We do stream the karaoke when things are working nicely. We do stream the karaoke live on a YouTube channel called Karaoke London, isn't it? So if you do a search on YouTube, Karaoke London channel, and then if you're there around about 8:30 tomorrow night, you should see it burst into life, and you'll be able to see our wonderful karaoke friends singing their heart out on there. Alternatively, you know, where you're watching this program now on the YouTube, right hand corner, you should see something that says featured channels on there. One of those again is Karaoke London. That's where you'll find the karaoke stream, not on this channel, on the Karaoke London channel. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show tonight. I shall go and do some dinner now. Well, has Holby City been on? It wasn't on Tuesday. I think they moved some of the shows over onto Wednesday this week for the boring football. Why would anyone want to sit there and watch football? Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you again for another live chat show at some time on Saturday morning. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button and have your notifications set to on, and then you'll get a little ping when we're back with you. Have a nice evening. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.